Hello and welcome to the debut edition of Wrestling is Her. I'm your host, Raja.
And I'm John.
And this week, our featured bout, almost like we planned it, is our Stardom Wrestling 5-star Grand Preview.
Yes.
But before we get into all that goodness...
Wait, is that a preview?
It is a preview of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's totally my fault. It's a preview, yes.
It is.
It's not a Grand Prix.
But before we get into all that, we are going to talk about something that's going to be a little bit of a regular mainstay on our show here, and that is our Wrestling is Her top 5 women in wrestling around the world.
Oh, yes.
Doesn't matter where they're from. It doesn't matter what federation. It only matters what they're doing, and if we think they are performing as one of the top women.
Right.
In all of wrestling right now.
Absolutely.
And because we are halfway through the year.
Oh, yeah.
We're sort of debuting this as our top 5 women so far in 2023.
Yeah, and your woman may not be on here, like your favorite wrestler.
Yes, we could only pick 5.
And, if that happened, then, she wasn't good enough.
We have a very, very special secret formula to this.
Yes. So our secret formula, we can't tell you because it's a secret.
It's a secret.
But I will tell you that Raja sent me high atop Skull Mountain to fight the One-Eyed Witch.
Yes.
And I was against it because, One-Eyed Witch or not, it's still a female. And this is all about women's empowerment.
Yes, but I insisted that we needed it for this show.
So after the One-Eyed Witch had her way with me, beat the crap out of me, and
she's quite the wrestler.
Joshi'd me off the mountain. Okay? I did come out with this secret recipe. And this secret recipe I gave to the queendom herself over here, Raja, and she has our top 5.
Yes, I do.
Our initial top 5.
Our initial top 5, yes.
For a kind of half year.
Yes, from January to July of 2023.
Normally, are we going to have the weekly top 5?
Yes, we will have our weekly top 5, and you might not see those rankings change much from week to week, but when you look back across an entire year or 6 months, you'll see major changes.
Oh, yeah.
Based on what these women are doing, and somebody might suddenly skyrocket to the top of the rankings because of something they did that week.
And we can
you never know.
Like a cumulative, one of those words.
Yes, at the end of the year, I'm sure we'll have our big daddy rankings there.
There you go.
Oh, goodness. So why don't we talk about our personal opinion, what the top 5 women in wrestling are right now.
Okay.
As of right now in 2023.
So, number 5.
Number 5, we have chosen Mercedes Moné.
Of course.
The money herself,
Monet.
the CEO.
Yes.
And, it's kind of hard to have a list of top women in 2023 without mentioning.
It really is.
Mercedes.
And I think when you look back in, a couple of years from now, when she's back from her injury, I don't mean it's going to take that long.
Yes, I understand.
When she's come back from her injury and taken all the belts, that you'll look back and think, oh my God, when she came and debuted in 23, she really took the world by storm. And I think part of this, and obviously your opinion, I want to know if it's anywhere near what mine is on her.
Right.
But I think when she came in, we were expecting cool, right? We were expecting Sasha Banks. We were expecting, work. We were expecting excitement and a little pizzazz out there.
Yes.
But I don't think anybody expected the work rate that we did, in fact, get.
Oh, no.
And the fact that she tried to embrace the Japanese culture.
Right.
She really tried to embrace the history and the love and everything that we all love.
Yes.
About Joshi.
Right. Yeah, she definitely gets brownie points for her just love and passion of the sport. And this woman was out of it from May 2022 until February of 2023. Because she debuted at Wrestle Kingdom, but she didn't wrestle until Battle in the Valley and had one of the women's wrestling matches of the year against Kairi.
And part of this is, moving the needle, right?
Right.
So if somebody comes out, and advances women's wrestling. It advances single-handedly.
Yes.
Causes a bunch of eyes to get on the product.
Yeah.
And then people see Julia. Like...
Right, yeah. That's absolutely right.
The really cool part to it is the way we noticed so many people talking about it all of a sudden.
Yeah, and you got to think, years ago, this is unheard of.
Oh, yeah.
A woman just leaving WWE.
Right.
And appearing in New Japan.
Right.
What even is that?
I know. And,
it's insane.
And arguably a little more over than most people. I mean,
absolutely. And she's got the style to boot. She's the most stylish woman out there. If you want to say something about it.
Personally, when I turn on a Stardom, this is going to be very controversial. I could turn on the Stardom house show.
Yeah.
Like the most recent one that we watched and loved. And see an energy and an excitement that when I watch night 2 of the G1.
Right.
I just didn't feel.
Yeah. I understand completely. I mean, I'm right there with you watching it, so I understand what you mean.
So maybe night 3. If you compare night 3 of the G1.
To a Stardom house show.
Right.
Those Stardom girls, man, they pour out their heart in everything they do.
Oh my God. And and if you do watch the house shows.
They're so much fun.
There's always some little thread that will play into the bigger shows.
Yeah, the stories are nonstop.
Yeah.
And just because it's a house show, the work, they still try to kill each other.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it's a house show.
Yeah.
There's no stopping.
All right.
Why don't we move on to...
Number 4.
Number 4. So, we have Athena, who has been killing it in Ring of Honor over the entire year and into last year. She racked up a 49 match singles winning streak, which is just insane to think about on its own.
And so it all obviously started innocently enough, I guess you could say.
Innocently enough, yes.
Because Athena was floundering, you know? And the thing is, I know people have given AEW at times a undeserved, bad rap on some of the pushes and what have you. But I think it's more, in WWE for years, you heard about grabbing the brass ring, pal.
Right.
I think that they really have that brass ring in AEW, and it's okay, well, who are you? What are you wanting to do?
They give you every chance.
Go wow us. Go get over. And that's the real cool thing about the early days of a federation, early days of anything, any kind of business. Sometimes people are still trying to play in that proper rules that they're used to in other places.
Yeah, they're trying not to step on too many toes.
Perfect case is we had a guy fresh off TV, probably around 2005, and I was backstage with my guys, and we were getting ready to go out, and so we had to discuss the match, so to say.
Right.
So this guy, I don't care to say it, John Heidenreich, had just come off TV, right? And I mean, just come off TV. And he comes up and he's like, "Are you the agent?" And I'm thinking, pal, look, we're at a little Tennessee town in a civic auditorium. And we've got, 400 people out there. Am I the agent? Yes. Absolutely.
Yep, that's me. You're looking at him.
So here's what's going to happen, pal. But, he was still playing within those rules, and that's all he knew. So I think sometimes when they go to somewhere else, they're still thinking, "Oh, I better do this, I better do that, I better do it exactly what they're wanting."
Yeah.
And if they only tell them some bullet points, but Athena, she went in and
she was definitely trying to be Ember Moon at first.
Right.
Because that's what she knew.
And I think honestly, at first, I think that maybe there was something stiff. I think maybe she got upset a little bit. Okay. And of course, everything was, really well worked after that.
Right.
But I think that first, and maybe not even the whole match.
Right. We're talking about the match with Jody Threat, of course, that she just went absolutely bonkers in.
Yeah, the match that made the Athena that we love now.
Yes, absolutely flipped her character on its head and created this whole new fallen goddess that we know and love.
Yeah, and good on her, good on them for seeing a good thing, sticking with it. And the cool thing about it, if you didn't watch Dark or Rampage and the shows like that, You may not have been seeing her every single week.
Right,
and
yeah.
Now Ring of Honor.
You've missed so much.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's out there working
every
week, whether it's a title match, a proving ground match, just a random singles match. She's out there doing it and playing this character that is just fantastic.
And a lot of people like the Orange Cassidy international title deal, right? And so every week, pretty much, he's working somebody. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
He's working somebody and making it a match, making it really good. I mean, some of the best matches of the year, probably, on television. She's doing the same thing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I do want to point out, if you didn't get a chance to see Athena versus Emi Sakura from before the last pay-per-view, you need to go out of your way to see it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So good.
Emi, God bless. Emi deserves...
Her Highness.
Yeah, she deserves so much more, and I will say it on her. Because there's just so much that she's so entertaining. My God.
She really is.
All right.
So that brings us to...
number 3. Chua.
And for number 3, we have Miss Jamie Hayter.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Hayter hits hard.
She went like on a rocket ship straight to the moon in the past year.
Absolutely.
It's been an insane growth and just such a natural growth. And she's such a good worker that it's... I mean, her matches are always totally believable.
Yes.
And I believe she's out there to knock someone's head off.
Yeah, because she
every
is.
single time.
and again, she's one that may be on the shelf at the moment.
Yes, unfortunately.
But her body of work this year, what she had already done.
Yes.
And she's another one who broke through that mold.
She did.
She was the heater.
She was Britt's bodyguard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she was totally the heater in that whole scenario. And the fans made her come out, and it's awesome, really.
It really is.
It's fantastic.
And it definitely started with that whole feud with Toni Storm, and then it kind of came back around to that. And I think Jamie would probably still be champion right now if she hadn't been injured.
Oh yeah.
But I hope we get her back soon.
Me too. I think
miss her already.
Some real classic matches yet to come.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
Especially if we start getting some Stardom crossover.
And with that, we move on to
Duh.
number 2. We have Rhea Ripley.
Oh yeah.
Or Mommy, as we
a little surprise, right?
prefer to call her.
We're in
Maybe
here,
a little bit.
We're in here loving on the Japanese and all this good stuff. But this is another one that kind of transcends she breaks our mold.
Yes, because I mean, a number 2 spot for a WWE women's wrestler is kind of a big deal with us.
Oh yeah.
You just have to know us.
Yeah, I mean,
but Rhea Ripley has done so much this year. She won the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
She's undefeated in singles matches this year.
Right.
And she's, of course, the current WWE Women's World Champion for over 100 days.
Yeah.
Formerly the SmackDown Champion before they changed the titles to avoid that confusion anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. And she has naturally, organically taken over her group.
Yes. If you haven't noticed, we love a natural rise to the top.
Absolutely. It's the best thing. I mean, if you force something, we don't like it. And this is one of those things with her popularity, obviously, since day one. Mm-hmm. She has just had it.
Yes,
whatever
she absolutely
it is,
has that X factor.
She has tons of it. And she is a it girl, and she has itted all over our number 2 spot.
Yes, and her popularity transcends even WWE. You see her everywhere at this point.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
and we love her for it.
Yeah, fantastic.
And that will bring us to
number 1.
Our number 1 is one of our absolutely favorite wrestlers in the whole world, Julia from Stardom.
I heard sounds of music when you said it.
Julia is just a superstar. And when you look at her, you can tell. I mean, in 2023 so far, she's had 68 matches. Yeah. Maybe more by this point.
Right,
because of all the shows they run.
Hold on 1 second. Wait, did you hear that? 69.
It just happened.
Yeah.
She started the year as the World of Stardom champion.
Right.
And she held on to that for 4 months before dropping it to Tam Nakano in an amazing match.
Yes.
And she currently holds 1/3 of the Artist of Stardom championships and the New Japan, NJPW Strong Women's Championship. Yeah. So she's not slouching at all.
Right.
She's picking it up even.
Oh, yeah.
And I think she still has eyes for Mayu's IWGP Women's title.
I believe she has eyes for maybe some international travel.
Yeah, I would. I mean, she's got the strong belt, so that kind of opens her up to it.
Not that she couldn't have done it already, but I really think there's been a lot of eyes on the product, and people are almost demanding Julia at this point.
I would not be surprised.
The thing is, will Julia be able to tone it down at all? I mean...
Well, if the matches with Willow were anything to go by, no.
Yeah, right. And I mean,
I don't want her to, though.
No. I mean, it's crazy. I love her matches. Selfishly, I don't want her to ever leave Stardom.
Right, because you get that same amazing match. Like, you know you're going to have an amazing Julia match with those girls.
Right. For me, I would much rather Stardom just do U.S. tours.
Yeah, we want a full Stardom show in America. Yeah. That's what we want. We don't want Stardom wrestlers coming over and facing American people.
Right. I mean, it's going to be great.
Yeah.
It will be great, but I really love what it is. It's like when you have this indie band.
Right.
And you really dig their stuff.
Right.
And they get signed, and all of a sudden they, turn into pop.
Yeah.
So, I
understand. You're worried about her being...
Toned down. Changed.
For the crowd.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody wants that, really. Because if they know who Julia is, they already know how insanely good she is. And they want that. They want that on their wrestlers.
I just don't want her to sign with WWE and become like a fashionista or something.
No. We're more worried about that with a different wrestler who was training with a certain WWE wrestler recently.
Yes, but that could have been a one-night thing.
It better have been a one-night thing.
Well, it's, you'll have your Utami back soon enough.
Yes, we will, because it is almost time for the start of the 12th 5-star Grand Prix. I'm so excited.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
This is going to be awesome.
Okay, so I think it's time that we get into this preview because there's a lot to talk about.
I mean, listen, guys. If you're not ready to get these pay-per-views, if you're not ready to have your Stardom World and just go crazy into it, what are you even doing?
Seriously. So, I mean, Stardom World has so much to offer anyway, so you should just have it.
Obviously, you love it already, or you wouldn't probably be listening to this. But if you are and you were just happened to be, strolling through and you tripped into this broadcast, well, I hope you enjoy it because we sure as hell do, and we cannot wait because it's, hey, it's just like hours.
Yes, absolutely.
Hours away.
We're so close.
Yes.
So let's talk about the tournament.
Let's do it.
The 5-star Grand Prix starts on July 23rd.
Yes.
And runs through September 30th.
Yeah.
A full 2 months.
Oh, yeah.
Of tournament matches. There are matches across 23 different events. There are 90 matches in total. And if you know about Stardom or Japanese wrestling in general, you know that singles matches are...
Oh, special.
Special. They're a rarity. Like, you don't get them often.
Right.
So this tournament is a chance to see your favorite wrestlers one-on-one in 90 matches.
Oh, yeah.
Plus the final, so 91. But this tournament is going to start out with one night full of tournament matches. The first night and the last night have every single block star fighting on them.
Oh, my God.
So the first night's definitely going to be a treat because, they're throwing some big things at us.
Oh, absolutely.
But before we get to what's happening on the first night, I think we need to talk about these blocks.
Let's do it.
And how they break down.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start with the red stars.
Okay.
Which is kind of like more of the big boy block, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So in the red stars, we have Tam Nakano.
Oh, my God.
Mayu Iwatani.
Yes.
Saya Kamitani.
Uh-huh.
Shuri. Mm-hmm. Suzu Suzuki. Starlight Kid. Natsupoi. Hazuki. Natsuko Tora. And Ami Sori.
Oh, my God.
So a lot of heavy hitters in the red stars.
That's just on its own, right?
Yeah, if you just took that block.
On its own, we're in heaven.
Absolutely. Some of those matches.
The dream matches.
Are insane.
Just amazing.
And I just want to talk about for a second Mayu Iwatani.
Yes.
Because there have been 11 5-star Grand Prix so far. This is the 12th.
Right.
She has been in 9 of the 11 5-star Grand Prix.
It's unreal. I mean, she's got, the movie that's being made.
Yeah.
And
no wonder.
Yeah. And if just the stories around her, because of her longevity, because of her sticking around, so to speak, and being true, she deserves all the praise, and just her glow. I mean, just her, no pun, but just her presence, her aura.
Yes.
And then if you forget, because you see the smiling and you see the happy and all this stuff, why don't you go watch one of her big matches?
Just one of her singles matches.
One of her important matches.
Oh, gosh.
Including one that we're really looking forward to, a rematch.
Yes, from the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to that, though.
Okay, so in the Blue Stars, it's still a great block. I mean, it's got the 2 newcomers in it, but you can't discount them either.
Right.
So Blue Stars, we have Julia, Utami Hayashishita, Maika.
Oh, my God.
Saori Anu.
Yes.
Momo Watanabe.
Yep.
Mirai, Azumi, Mina Shirakawa, Mariah May, and Hanan.
My God.
So Saori Anu and Mariah May.
Yeah.
This is their first.
And listen, Mariah May has done something that's pretty incredible, in my opinion. She has really just made a incredible name for herself.
She has.
In no time whatsoever. She's got such a presence. We talk about a presence, right? Mm-hmm. And you and I, especially, because we're a little bit snooty. So when we turn it on there, we're not specifically looking for a gaijin to take our heart.
Right, no. We're there to watch Stardom wrestlers.
And so Mariah May comes out and, dude, I'm telling you, there is just something funny. Like, her timing is impeccable.
She's amazing. And her character, her work, everything.
Yeah, everything. You're right.
Her gear, she always looks great.
And she can mesmerize a crowd. Like, she's got that thing about her when she can look at you. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, like, if you've ever been, like, to any kind of stage show and, and there's somebody that just has that presence.
Right.
And they can look at you and you feel super special.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as she looks at you, you're like, oh my God. Like, and it's just, you are transcendent whatever world she wants to take you to.
Exactly.
And I love that about her. So I'm really excited to see what happens when she's taken into deep waters. Yeah,
because she's about to go straight into the deep end with this tournament.
I mean, with some of these singles matches.
Yeah. Some of the ones in her, I mean, even like Julia and Utami, I mean, she's in for it.
Oh, absolutely.
And she has to face Mina at some point, her Goddess of Stardom tag team champion partner.
I think that one will be fun.
I think so too. Yeah, absolutely. So just to reiterate, the kind of heavy hitters we have in this tournament this year, obviously it's a little bit smaller than last year. They had 26 people instead of 20 people. It's exclusive, yes. And there are people that we would have liked to see in it, obviously, that are not in it because they have limited space.
But at the same time, yeah.
Yeah, but Hanan last year got 4 points.
Right.
And besides her, the next lowest point getter from last year's tournament is 10 points.
Wow.
Like that, the rest of these girls got 11 or above.
Wow.
In last year's tournament. And that's almost scary, especially for newcomers. Like,
absolutely.
That's so many points.
Oh, it is. It is. It is. I mean, points should be at a premium this year for sure.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be insane. And I don't even know, like, where to begin with picking a winner at this point, like, among these people, but I'm sure we'll start to see it break down.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to pick our early winner by the end of this broadcast.
Absolutely.
It's going to happen.
The pressure's on.
And we talked about this, our little pre-show meeting. We were like, okay, you tell me your winner and I'll tell you mine, and we didn't do that.
So we never got around to that.
It's totally a shoot, pal. All right.
Oh, man.
We worked ourselves into a shoot here because we really don't know.
No.
And I think it's because we don't know. We might have somebody in our head that...
It's hard to pick.
Because I have my heart pick.
Yeah.
Then I have my sensible pick.
Right.
And then I have my probable pick.
Yes. There's so many ways it could go.
And yes, sensible and probable are absolutely different.
Yeah, absolutely.
To me.
Yeah.
So
a little more about just the entire field.
Right.
We have a pretty even breakdown between factions.
Yeah.
Most of the factions have 3 people represented in this tournament, other than Donna Del Mondo only having 2, Club Venus only having 2, and 1 unaffiliated person, who's Suzu Suzuki, who has yet to join a faction.
So it kind of sucks already because, and it doesn't suck like, but it sucks because you mentioned Club Venus.
Yes.
And I think you and I both agree who we would like to see in there.
Yes.
I know the stripes have not been earned.
Yes.
But my God, I'd like to see Jessie in there.
we have a special place in our heart for Jessie.
I don't know why.
It's just that puppy with big paws thing. I
don't
know.
I mean, yeah, she's
adorable.
Yeah, something about her, man. She's got something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet. We haven't explored.
But
it
I feel
completely.
the same way with Donna Del Mondo only having 2 and wishing Thekla was maybe
How
in
is
the
Thekla
tournament.
not in it?
Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with her getting injured and missing last year. I don't know. But
All right.
We don't know. We're not speculating anything about that.
But with that gone, that's enough negative.
Yes. So here's a few little interesting stats for you leading into this tournament.
Yes.
There have never been a 2-time winner before.
Right. Which is crazy.
And we have 4 former winners
The fact that we live on a
that.
planet where Sherry exists.
And hasn't won the Grand Prix twice.
Twice, yeah.
After she's been in 3 so far.
Yeah.
So we have 4 former winners that could break that this year, which is Mayu Utani,
Yes.
Sherry,
Yes.
Julia, and Utami Hayashishita.
Yeah.
I will mess that up a couple times.
And it's your favorite.
I know, but it's so hard to say.
That's why you just say it, Tommy.
There have only been 2 times that runners-up have become winners in another year. And we have 2 people that have been runners-up that haven't won yet, which is Tam Nakano and Momo Watanabe. So their chances are pretty good.
So
They've made it to the final before.
I'm a gigantic Tam Nakano fan.
Oh, who isn't?
And,
honestly.
Julia.
True. Fair.
But I love everything about her and the way she brings it. I mean, I
know, she's
I think
scary.
she's so underrated on bringing it. Okay, people may love her and think, "Oh man, she's great. No, I think you're underestimating her bring it ability."
Right. It's like she's so pretty and stylish and wonderful.
And plus, I call her the murder doll. Okay, because she looks like a crime scene. At the end of a big match, it totally looks like a crime scene. You could walk with Tam to a local delicatessen.
They were right.
After a big match and be arrested.
Right, because she looks so terrible.
She'd be like, no, had a match. And it was like, no, buddy, you're going to jail.
Yeah. I mean, she's scary. When she gets serious, I would not want to be in the ring with her.
I love
She's
it.
mad.
Yeah. And so, we'll move on here.
All right. So the last stat I have for you is that there has only ever been one person to win the 5-star Grand Prix on their first 5-star tournament attempt, other than the first ever one, because that was everyone's first, right? So in 2016, Yoko Bito won, and that was her first 5-star Grand Prix. So there's a chance that Saoriano or Mariah May could win in their first ever 5-star Grand Prix. Very small chance.
I would probably, no matter what the bookie was giving me on that, not take that action.
Yeah, me either. But I just wanted to throw that out
Not
there.
with what we have.
No. No. It wouldn't be my pick, honestly.
And, for some people, like SLK, right?
Right.
There is maybe some matches, and for other high speeds, there may be some matches that just that match itself, the victory could be like a tournament win.
Right, yeah. That's all they're in it for.
That's true for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because the cool thing is you might earn title shots. You might earn, there might be faction tension.
Yeah. There's so many things that could come out of this.
So many stories that'll give us stories for the rest of, this year and maybe into the next.
The winner is just like the cherry on top.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's talk about night one.
Let's do it.
July 23rd, live from the Oda Ward General Gymnasium.
God, dude. Yeah.
Gosh. Okay. There's so many good matches on this first night. Me too. So we're going to start with the Red Star matches.
All right.
Starting with Ami Sori versus Natsuka Tora.
Right.
So obviously this is like a big hitter match.
Yes.
Natsuka Tora, the leader of Oedo Tai. Ami Sori. I have so much trouble with her name.
I know.
She's in God's Eye, obviously.
Yes.
And they've only faced one time in a singles match. And Ami holds the one win over Natsuka Tora. So this match, I feel I feel like they're just going to beat the crap out of each other.
I believe so too.
And I'm hoping there's no like interference or anything going on with Oedo Tai, but
there will be.
There's always that possibility.
Maybe not. I mean, maybe, this one time it doesn't matter though. Mm-hmm. I'm giving the nod on God's eye on this. So.
Yeah, me too. I'd say Ami probably pulls out this win. It feels like it's in her favor.
I agree.
So the next match is Natsupoi versus Starlight Kid, which is just an all-timer in its own right.
Natsupoi. We've talked a lot about people that have taken our hearts. Now, Natsupoi is probably more on my end. She's kind of like my Utami, I guess.
Right. I do love Natsupoi.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's different.
To me, she's like a sadistic fairy.
Yes, she does have that evil fairy vibe.
Right. She's smiling, but there's something wrong with her.
There is. That's why she joined Tam.
Anyone who could take the punishment she takes, she reminds me of like, no, this is so far in left field. Bonus points for anyone who goes, oh my God, yeah, Tony Mamaluke. This poor bastard that was thrown from pillar to post and over guardrails and everything in the dying days of ECW.
Right.
I had so much respect for this kid.
Okay.
Because he was a $105 soaking wet and had to run around in the shower to get wet. One of those people, you know.
Right,
and, but when he would take like a gorilla press and they just beat the piss out of him, you're always thinking, that poor kid's dead. He's dead. He's dead.
Right.
And here he comes coming back, right? So Natsupoi is that for me.
That tracks.
I almost love the fact that I don't need Natsupoi to win.
No.
I just need her to try really hard. And I mean, she's had some amazing stuff, man. That series with Tam.
Yes, the series with Tam, the recent strap match.
Oh my God.
I don't know why she does this to herself.
Yeah.
It's like she has so much to prove that she has to go to extremes to prove it. And I don't know why people don't just think she's amazing and make her do all these crazy things to prove herself.
Yeah, no, she's great. I'm looking very much forward to that.
Yes, so Natsupoi versus Starlight Kid, they've faced 6 times in the past. They're currently 2-2 with 1 draw and 1 double count out. So
Starlight Kid is a no-brainer. As far
for
as
us, yes.
Yeah, as far as love, as far as amazing potential, as far as I think that she will someday be crowned as most popular wrestler on the planet.
Maybe. It's possible.
I think the potential's there.
Yes.
Okay. And the whole point with it is there is a story coming up that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
And we're looking forward through this whole tournament for one story.
We could talk about it now if you want.
I don't want to jump around. You want to talk about it now?
Sure. Let's just talk about it now.
Okay.
So Starlight Kid has this running feud in the 5-Star Grand Prix with Mayu Iwatani.
Yes.
The past 2 years, they've faced on the final night of the 5-Star Grand Prix, and they will do so again this year.
Yes.
And Starlight Kid has never beat Mayu Iwatani.
She came so close.
She does.
If you haven't seen last year's Starlight versus Mayu, it's off the charts.
It's an insane match.
I mean, it doesn't matter if you know who wins, which you do.
Yes.
It doesn't matter that it's in the past.
It'll still grab you.
Yeah. I mean, it's still exhilarating and it's still amazing. So there's a chemistry sometimes between people. Mm-hmm. They totally have it.
Yes, they do. And the sheer, the emotion that comes across from Starlight Kid, where you can tell that she's just trying her best. And when she just doesn't get there, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But there's potential this year. I think she's going to have a great tournament.
So I'm looking for a draw.
Oh, that'd be better than
that's the win.
Normal.
Yeah, that's the win. We'll get to a win later. I think that's a draw.
Yeah. I mean, I think she'd be happy. I don't know if she'd be happy with that, but it's better than nothing.
I just think she's learned a lot. I think that
she has, and she's definitely had a really great year.
Yeah.
So our third match for night number 1 is Tam Nakano versus Saya Kamitani.
Oh my God.
So good old Cosmic Angels versus Queen's Quest. And I'm kind of scared for Saya. She tends to have a little bit of an attitude.
A little bit.
And she can get a bit presumptuous in the ring. And I don't know that Tam is going to take very kindly to that.
Yeah, I think Tam has to come out guns blazing.
Yeah. There's also the problem with Tam being the big champ right now, where she's everyone's Super Bowl in this tournament. Like, if they beat her in this tournament match, that's a title shot, essentially.
Yeah, and the whole thing about Kamatani is, as big of a headliner as this is, it's still somewhat of a trap for her.
It is.
Because I think she's looking ahead. I think that she feels, as you were putting about, how she acts, I think personally that she may be thinking, you know what? I'm going to win this thing. I'm going to breeze through. This seems like a trap match.
Well, I wouldn't blame her, because in the 8 times they've faced, she's beat Tam 6 of those times.
Right. That's what I mean. Yeah. I mean,
So
she's going to feel that way. And there's a lot of international buzz, for her over Tam.
Right.
Just for whatever reason.
Because, I mean, she's kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
She held that white belt for so long.
She needs to have a shirt that says I'm kind of a big deal.
She should.
Yeah. In case you didn't know.
But I feel like if she gets in there and treats Tam Nakano like she can just walk all over her, it's going to be a bad
Why
night
is she
for
a heel
her.
to us?
I don't know. We've always kind of she's kind of rubbed us the wrong way ever since we started watching.
Yeah. If you're the biggest fan in the world, okay, of Kamatani, please let us know.
Please tell us what it is about her.
We have socials, by the way, don't you know?
Yes, we do.
You want to tell them what our socials are?
On Twitter and Instagram, you can find us at Wrestling Is Her.
Yep.
Pretty simple to remember.
Pretty simple to remember. So go ahead and give us a shout.
Yes.
And
let us know if you love Saya Kamatani and why. We're really curious.
Yeah, in a polite way.
Listen, we don't dislike Saya Kamatani.
No.
There's just something about her that makes her feel like too big for her britches, I guess. I don't know.
So where's the chills? So
we love Queen's Quest too. So,
absolutely. And the thing with Raja, the thing with me, you can do one amazing thing and win us over.
Yes. Change our mind, please.
We are so easy. Okay.
I want to like her.
Yeah. You're never going to meet 2 more open-minded people.
No.
I promise you. So, just wow us.
Yeah. When we say change my mind, we're not actually trying to prove you wrong.
Right.
We really want you to change our mind.
Well put.
So this next match I'm really excited about because it's a first-time matchup in singles fashion, and that's Shuri versus Suzu Suzuki.
Dear God.
And Shuri is just... she's insanely talented.
Yeah.
And anytime I see her, even if she's just standing in the ring talking on a microphone or sitting at commentary, I get excited to see her because she has this presence about her. And she is what Stardom represents to me.
Absolutely. I mean, when we say Wrestling Is Her, it could totally just be a picture of Shuri.
Look it up in the dictionary. It's just Shuri.
I mean, we talk about the presence. We talk about all that stuff. She kind of eclipses everything.
She does. There's just something about her that puts her on this sort of mountaintop. And maybe it's just for us. I don't know.
Well, I mean, she walks in, man. She controls the room.
She does. You just want to stop talking and listen to her whenever she talks.
People are happy that they're maybe join her faction so they don't have to ever fight her.
I affectionately call her mom.
Yeah.
Because that's what she feels like to me. Like she's taking care of everyone.
Yeah. I mean, there's something...
even if she's kicking their butt.
Yeah, and that's the thing, right?
Right.
I mean, she's going to kick ass.
Yes, every single time.
And the problem is that Suzuki...
she is a problem.
she has kicked some ass herself.
Yes, she has. And she's definitely sort of battled her way over the last little while.
Yeah.
Up into the upper echelon of Stardom.
Right.
And it's kind of scary because in this tournament, she's almost this person that could beat anyone. And she did so well last year that she's like this wild card that I feel like could beat all our favorites
right. She's like
and come out the other side with the trophy.
She's had some weird things going on with Micah.
Yeah, she has.
And especially if you look a year ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're having hardcore matches. They're
Right.
having, the DDM feud when
Yes.
Prominence first came over.
Yes.
And you look at what's going on now. It's like one of those, when they're together, it's how will they get along?
Right.
Can they coexist?
Right. And it was sort of like this really nice cohesive thing until Suzuki proposed this whole generational struggle, and then it became like, oh, you're not doing as well as I want you to, and they started butting heads, and that, I guess, that old thing just started coming up again.
Well, yeah, just like the last one, they had, Micah on the elimination. Micah was the last.
She was.
For their team to be eliminated. Suzuki went out over the top first.
Right.
I mean, well, before Micah, and she got mad at Micah.
Yeah,
afterwards.
she's like, you lost.
Yeah.
I got them out for you, and then you lost the match.
I had confidence in you being able to do that. Whatever, the thing is, this is a slobber knocker.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I think that she kind of sees herself maybe as a future Sherry kind of thing.
I would not put it past her.
Yeah.
I still think Sherry's probably going to win this match if I was picking, but I can't discount Suzuki ever.
I want Sherry to win this. I think Suzuki takes it.
Oh, gosh. Just crushing all my dreams.
I really do. I think Suzuki comes out to an early.
Do you think she's going to hit the ground running?
Yeah, I do.
That would not surprise me.
I don't think it's going to end that way because she is more of a sprint, it seems to me.
Right.
And Sherry's kind of
She paces herself.
She's the distance runner,
Yeah,
And she
absolutely
can,
makes
the
sense.
thing is, she can still knock you out after 10 miles.
That's true, yeah.
I'm not sure Suzuki can.
Oh, man. I guess we'll see. So the final Red Star match for night 1 is Miyu Iwatani
Yes.
and Hazuki.
Oh, my God.
Which is, of course, Stars versus Stars.
Oh.
And that's never fun because Stars is just one big happy family and they all love each other.
And we did this silly thing about talking about people we love.
I know.
And this one has somebody that we love, maybe.
Most of all.
Yeah. I mean, it's very possible.
We've become very, very attached to Hazuki as a character and as a wrestler.
Absolutely. Even like her mentorship of the other girls. I mean, think of a match with her girls in it that she's not, if she's not involved in, that she's not the one at ringside, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like she's always there.
Yeah.
And it seems like she's so happy to be there.
Yeah. And she's almost different to the rest of Stars because she's got kind of this rough and tumble sort of aesthetic about her.
And she's also got a rough and tumble backstory, like the shoot one and I mean, there's some story in the last few years. And, I think since her return, it's really been, I don't know, I don't want to say weird, but she's obviously got her place.
Yes, she's found a place.
And she's doing well. But then again, is she ever really in that conversation at the top tier?
It almost feels like she should be further along than she is.
Right.
But then again, she was gone for so long.
I know. But is she ever going to have that trust in that?
Right.
Is she ever
It's
going
hard
to have
to
that
say.
opportunity? Because as long as she's been around, and she's not ever been the one, really.
Right, yeah. And does that change now?
I don't know. This would be a hell of a way to do it. And how left field would that be when you've got a field of killers?
Yeah. I mean, how crazy would it be to start your tournament beating Mayu Iwatani?
Yeah.
And your faction leader.
It would be crazy. And it's probably dream soup because,
right.
I don't see it happening. And, a big part of us would like to see Iwatani go all the way. So
yeah, absolutely. We want everyone to do well.
Yeah. We'd like to have several tournaments, please, where everybody wins.
I think Kazuki's going to have a good tournament, but I don't know if she starts it so well, considering the match.
No, I got you. And it's going to be a hell of a match. And its placement on the card worries me.
Right. But they know each other so well.
I know.
And I feel like that's going to spell trouble for like their most used moves and stuff. Like I feel like they're going to have to pull out a lot of stuff to get around each other.
It's just being in that slot.
Right.
That later slot like that. It seems like maybe that's a middle of the card kind of fight and struggle unless something huge or surprising is going to happen. Just saying.
I hear you.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So
I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be a really good match.
Yeah.
Regardless. So let's talk about the Blue Stars side of things.
Okay.
So we're going to start with Micah versus Hanan.
Right.
Which is a good match. Hanan.
Yeah.
she got 4 points last year. She might do better this year, but Micah's kind of been on a tear recently.
Oh yeah. Micah is on a tear. Micah is my stops time.
Yes.
You know, birds fly out of the sky.
Right.
That kind of thing. Micah is her.
Right. For you. Yes.
Yeah. So
and I can see why. She's got the look.
Yeah.
She's got the moves.
Yeah.
She's great.
I think that she is really, I don't think she's a number 2, put it that way.
Right.
I think she makes a hell of a number 2.
Which is worrying.
Yeah. I think she makes a hell of a number 2. But I don't think she's a number 2. I think she's a number 1.
Yeah. Well, I love Donna Del Mondo altogether.
I know. I don't
They've
want them to
recently
break up.
lost someone to retirement.
I
I
know.
mean, they can't lose more members.
I don't want them to have anything happen. I don't think they're going to have anything happen.
Right.
I'm just saying that
But does Micah have a place in Donna Del Mondo anymore?
Dude, Micah...
Especially with the Julia thing.
Micah, in talking to Suzuki, was like, if you don't like it...
Meet me in the final.
Yeah.
Because they're in separate blocks. Which could happen.
Yeah. It's just weird to have that statement.
It is. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird to have that statement. That statement's almost like something that gets called back to.
Yeah, it does. Like, why would you throw it out there?
Yeah.
But we will get to see Micah versus Julia at some point along the way in the tournament.
Which we've got taste of,
Yes, of course. We got a little bitty taste of it. So we'll see how they coexist.
Well, it seems like they don't give a damn. Like
They feel like the kind of friends that would just wrestle to wrestle.
They're like the female Blackpool Combat Club. Like they'll go at it.
Yeah, I feel that.
And then be fine.
So the next match is Azumi versus Mariah May, which it just makes me laugh to think.
Right.
Mariah May is just fun.
Yes.
Just unbridled fun.
Yes.
And Azumi is fast.
My God.
Hard hitting. And take no prisoners. I kind of worry.
I think there's a good chance that not everyone has seen what we have seen on her.
Yeah, maybe.
Like Raja and I see her as a killer.
Yeah, she's scary.
And it's so funny because
I know she's like the high speed girl or whatever.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Have you seen her hit people?
Yeah, dude, she hits people and she's got this look on her face.
Oh yeah, like she can't be bothered.
Yeah, all the time.
Like she doesn't care.
She doesn't.
It's that Queen's Quest thing.
Yeah, I truly believe she doesn't care. And she's a top tier, man. She is a top tier. Absolutely. So she's had big matches. Yes. And those big matches have always delivered.
Yeah, absolutely. Every single high-speed title match when she was a champion. So which is crazy.
This match is going to be fire.
It is. And a part of me wants to worry about Mariah May, but the other part of me has seen what she can do when things get serious. Like when they won the tag team titles. Like she's not going to play around in this tournament.
No, absolutely. And I still think that Azumi takes this.
I think so too. Yeah, I feel like Azumi's probably the safe winner.
Even if we go in traditionals, right? You go through your first tournament, you don't win many.
No, you're usually down in the 4s, even the 2s.
You work. That's one of the things I love about the culture. You work your way up.
Yeah, and Mariah kind of barely got in there with her qualifying.
Oh yeah, it took last second stuff. So.
Yeah, so we'll see.
We will.
Next,
I think it'll tell us a lot.
It will. Yeah.
I think if she does pull that out, that tells us a lot for the tournament.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those to watch.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
So next is Mirai versus Momo Watanabe.
Yes.
And these two are both the ones that'll knock your head off and not apologize for it.
Yeah, and Watanabe is she's due for a run of some. I feel like she's been kind of on the back burner.
Yeah. She's kind of been...
For her talent.
She's sort of just been like hanging out in Oedo Tai, like she doesn't care where she's going or what she's doing as long as she gets to hit people with that bat.
Right.
That's kind of the feel I get from her. But she is a former runner-up in this tournament, and she does know how to go to that next level.
That's what I'm saying, though. If you just started watching like a year ago,
right,
you wouldn't think much of her.
No.
And so it's one of those times. The good thing about the tournament is it's really a time for someone to shine and someone who has showed up before,
right,
to show out.
Yes, it is. And you definitely can't discount her ability to just ruin people.
I don't think she's going to win this match.
Well, Mirai has been kind of on a run.
She's on a run. No, it's not a very popular run.
No, but she is a champion.
She is.
This could afford Momo a title shot if she wins this match.
It could. And that would be awesome.
It would.
We feel the same way as all of you.
We're a little confused.
But we also have an open mind.
We're here for you.
We do have an open mind. I will say, if you want to find something that makes you like her, there is a certain YouTube of another little fed, another little indie fed.
Right.
Where they show up, they being...
God's Eye.
Yes.
Yes.
And take care of a little business in the ring. And Sherry looks...
Oh, Sherry.
She looks freaking awesome in that...
In that bejeweled pantsuit?
Yeah. So basically, Mirai... Dude, listen, if it wasn't live rounds and true takedowns, I don't know what it was. She looked like a badass.
She was not going to let that girl get the upper hand on her.
So she looked like a badass. And I was trying to think how it's like 3 months ago in Sendai Girls.
Yeah.
And maybe 4 months. Easy to spot, though, because of Sherry.
Yes.
Coming out.
She's easy to find.
So, but yeah, it's cool seeing that kind of like fire.
Yeah, when you're kind of low on someone and then see them like grab someone by the neck and throw them around. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. That I'm just trying to throw nuggets out. You don't have to eat them.
You usually have good points. So, the next match is Utami Hayashishita versus Mina Shirakawa.
Every time you get it right, I want to put something on the soundboard where I have like a little ding, like a drinking game.
I'll get it right most of the time.
Should we do it? Should we take a shot when you get it right? Or should we take a shot when you don't?
Probably when I don't.
Okay.
I've been practicing.
All right.
So, of course, Mina is currently one half of the Goddesses Stardom Tag Team Championships. She's got her own faction now.
Yes.
So this is sort of faction leader versus faction leader.
Uh-huh.
Of course, Utami's been away for a brief period, discovering herself in America. So
Utami... if you haven't seen it, has done the GCWs.
Yes.
And she had a little training day with the WWE girls.
Yes.
And she also had a unexpected surprise, like kind of final blow off at the Ring of Honor event. And, which is amazing.
Just crazy.
She faced a New Japan trainee of... Trisha Adora. Yeah, sorry.
Yes, she's in the academy now.
Right. So I think that was kind of a safe play.
Yeah, absolutely. Get that Japanese training in there.
We haven't got to see that match as of, recording this.
No, not yet.
So can't wait to see it.
But her matches in America have been just as good as you would imagine an Utami match to be.
Absolutely.
And honestly, my one goal in life is to get the rose from Utami Hayashishita.
Are you listening to that?
I need that to happen at some point in my life.
The only bad thing about it is if that happens, having to make sure that you don't hit your head.
Yeah, I might just immediately expire after that. I love Utami Hayashishita, okay? Her presence, the way she wrestles, her expression, she just does not care.
I think you like her for the fact of her also being that sibling that obviously took care of everybody.
Yeah, the older sister that went out of her way to take care of the younger siblings. And just her pure drive to get into professional wrestling, because that's what she wanted to do. Like, just listening to her talk about it is so funny.
Yeah.
But she is amazing. She's so cool. And I want her to win this match so bad. Like, I want her to have a good showing on her first night. But I also love Mina. Right. Okay, Mina's totally different. She's all show. Well, not all show. She's all about the show.
She's got a lot of show.
She wants everyone, all eyes on her. I don't think Utami really feels that way. She's kind of like, I'm just here to do business.
I think Utami would rather have less eyes.
Yeah, she's like, I'm here to do business. I'm just here to wrestle.
I don't want to talk to anyone.
Right. And Mina has created this whole place for herself, and she's won belts, and she's just been on this crazy rise. So it's hard to say how this match is going to turn out. Yeah,
no, I agree. And I think you mentioned it a while ago, and just to expand, this whole tour was unexpected. Mm-hmm. And Utami had that famous moment after we went through the very popular cage match.
Yes.
With Queen's Quest. And, you know, she comes out there and is just like basically...
She apologizes for being a bad leader. She's like, I leave Queen's Quest to all of you while I go on a journey to discover like more about myself, because she hasn't been on top for a while.
That cage match, everything that built up to that Oedo Tai cage match.
Oh, man.
Okay? Everything that built up to it, that story was fantastic.
Yes, it was.
And
the slow like descent of Utami into like not feeling like her faction appreciated her.
Right.
And Oedo Tai kind of egging it on, and Natsukatora like calling her out for being a terrible leader and all of that.
But look at Utami's success, okay? Mm-hmm. Utami's early success is pretty spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's done it all.
She has. And she's won the 5-star Grand Prix.
Yeah, I mean, she's done it all. And really, if you look at her recent history, it's not been like that at all.
Right. There's not a lot of that.
No. Yeah. So
it's natural to feel like you're kind of falling down a hill, I guess.
They had the main event. She wins her team back.
Yeah, by helping them. And she's like the best leader in the world.
And then, you know, selflessly, you know, like you said, you know, does all that. And all the wonderful fan arts out there. And
yes, and Saya coming up there and having the chance to knock her back in and then saving her instead.
That was a positive Saya moment. But then Utami saying, you know, I'm going to go basically find myself. I've lost my smile. She had the Shawn Michaels moment.
Yes.
And, you know, the big question here.
Yeah.
What Utami shows up?
Yeah, exactly. We don't really know, like, what she's going to be like when she gets back to Japan, because as she's been away, Queen's Quest has been losing all of their matches. Yeah. They have not won a match since Utami left, which begs the question, what is Queen's Quest without Utami Hayashishita?
We'll see.
I guess we'll find out, and we will find out if she can beat Mina Shirakawa after this little journey of discovery that she's been on.
I hope she wins it in under a minute.
Yeah. Like, she comes back newer, better, ready. That would be cool.
Yeah, it would be.
Prove herself to herself.
Even a little bit of a image change, possibly.
I would not be against that.
Yeah.
I love the way she looks now, but I wouldn't be upset. Okay, so the final match that we're going to talk about is Julia versus Saori Anu, one of our newcomers.
Yes.
And, of course, it's Julia. So.
Right.
Anu is... scary. That strap match, I saw some things.
Yeah.
There were a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, she's definitely got a killer instinct.
She does.
And, you know, she will take no shit whatsoever.
No.
But, sorry about your luck, pal. Because you're facing Julia. And in case you don't know, let Julia remind you. Because you could F around. But you will totally find out.
Oh, gosh, she will. She will. And this is her first 5-star, so that doesn't bode well for her.
It's
in any match, let alone against Julia.
It's not a prediction. It's a spoiler. Julia is going to Well, she's going to punish her.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
I mean, they faced 2 times before, not in Stardom. They faced in like Ice Ribbon and Actress Girls. And Sariano has both wins over Julia in those instances. But this is Stardom.
Right.
And Julia is Stardom.
Yes.
So it's almost hard to imagine her losing her first match.
I don't see it outside of an injury.
Yeah. No, I don't see it either. Especially against a newcomer. I know newcomers can kind of be wild cards and like throw you for a loop first time out, like you're not expecting it. But I really don't see a world where Julia loses this match.
Yeah, and let's kayfabe for a second. And Julia remembers those 2 losses.
Yeah.
You know,
she might.
And she's learned so much.
Yeah.
She has to put up with so much crap.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so many people challenging her, you know, because of who she's become.
Yeah.
Every time she's out there, she's like the New England Patriots or something. She's, you know, she's got this long record of Super Bowl wins. And, you know, everybody wants to knock off the top dogs.
Yes. Which is always a scary prospect, but they're the top dogs for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, it's their World Series when they're facing you.
Yes. Yes, it is.
So, you know, this is a big deal. And I think that Julia rises to the challenge.
Yes. And I think it'll be a really, really good match because I think Anu's going to pull out all the stops, obviously, to try to get one over on Julia, but don't think it's going to happen. So,
all right. We've come to that piece.
We come to the dreaded part.
I want to know, and our very first thing on our Twitter is going to be the same thing, right? Mm-hmm. The very first thing is going to be a poll on who you pick, you know, who do you think will win? And I think that we will debut our Twitter during the pay-per-view.
That'll be fun.
I think that our first tweet should be opening match. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Maybe a little bit before so we can actually get...
Right.
We'll hashtag it and we'll get who do you think's going to win.
Right.
And then, you know, we'll put up some little polls and things like that. So be on the lookout.
Yes. Watch along with us.
And watch along. We'll live tweet it.
Yes.
Through the entire event. Very excited about this. Now, I'm going to ask you, Raja.
We have to make our early picks.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
Do I get a heart pick and a sensible pick?
Absolutely, but this is your show, so I am just the loyal co-host. So I will go first.
Okay.
And we'll main event you.
Okay. You tell me who you think is going to win the 2023 Stardom 5-Star Grand Prix.
Do I get a heart pick?
Of course.
Okay.
Who's your heart pick to
Micah.
win? Micah. Okay, that doesn't surprise me.
So Micah's my heart pick.
I also don't think it's totally out of the realm of possibility.
Right.
She was only 1 point shy of like the final last year, so.
And so who do I think is going to win?
Who do you think, who's your sensible pick to win the tournament this year?
I have to say, even though she's had a lot come her way, I really think Julia does it. I do. I mean,
that's a good pick.
If I was booking it, I would book Sherry just because she hasn't truly been on top of the page.
Right.
You know, very recently.
Right.
So I think that would be really cool. But I think that my safe money is on Julia.
All right. That's a solid pick. She's a former winner. She won last year. So she could not only be a second-time winner.
The first 2-time winner.
But 2 times in a row.
Yeah.
A repeat winner.
Yeah, which is
crazy.
Incredibly hard, especially in this more premier
this
version.
Boiled down like field of 20.
So let me ask you, Raja.
Okay.
It's your show. It's your debut show.
Right.
And I know how much you love Stardom, especially.
Yes. So this is the hardest pick that I'll ever make.
Who's your heart pick?
My heart pick is Utami Hayashishita.
Okay. All right.
I feel like there's a possibility that this little excursion she's gone on has woken something up inside of her and is just going to carry her through this tournament all the way to the final.
Right.
And she is going to pick up the win.
Okay. Fair.
Of another 2-time win pick, I guess, because she's won before.
So who is
my sensible pick?
Your sensible pick.
If I had to go with my own logic, I feel like Tam Nakano is going to pick up the win.
All right. And I'll give you that. We talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
That's a first-time winner.
Yes, it would be her first win. She was runner-up, of course, last year.
And if we were giving out cookies to everyone.
Yeah.
And you think about like generational struggle.
Right.
Okay. On generational struggle, is she the only one in that ring that has not won this?
Yes. Yes, she is.
Okay.
The other 3 have won, and Utami, of course, has won.
And they kind of talked about like, making a generational struggle.
Yes, there is a sort of generational struggle night on September 9th. There's going to be 3 matches that mirror the 8-mans they've been having, which is Tam versus Suzu, Sherry versus Saya Kamitani, and Julia versus Maika.
Right.
All on the same night.
Right.
And they're kind of dubbing it Generational Struggle 3.
Right.
Even though Mayu doesn't have a match
but
against
this was
somebody
the
that
vets.
night.
The vets made this one.
Yes, Julia proposed it and was like, we should do this as
Yeah.
the 3rd generational struggle. So there's still those kind of veins running through the 5-star Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And Tam being part of that higher generation and being the current champion and not having won the 5-star Grand Prix. And I assume if she wins, she can just pick, she can have her pick of opponents.
So I will say this, if we use wrestling logic, Suzuki set it up to start with generational struggle, and they did not win.
No.
Julia pulled the table out this time.
She did, which does not look good for them on that night.
It's just kind of a wrestling thing. If you grab the chair, you're probably going to get hit with the chair.
Yeah. And I could totally see these 3 beating the bigger generation, on that night in that situation where it's not an elimination match.
Yeah.
But I mean, because they went to a draw in the first one.
It'd be crazy if that was a spoiler. If that match spoiled it for somebody.
It would be.
But I love your pick, and I think and I love your heart pick, and honestly, all 4 of our picks, any of them would be great.
Oh yeah, there's a possibility for so many people to win this tournament, and that's what makes it so exciting.
I don't know if I've ever seen a federation as loaded.
No, absolutely not.
With top tier at their prime.
Yeah.
Or maybe even not to their prime yet, stars.
Yeah.
As Stardom is right now.
No. I've seen 8-person tournaments with somebody you wish wasn't in there.
Yeah.
This is 20 people.
Yeah.
And I'm happy about all of them.
Yeah.
I'm not mad about anybody in this tournament.
And you got to think some of the players that are not even around, because we've talked about Mercedes, right?
Right.
Mercedes, if she was healthy, would she have been part of the tournament?
Right.
I would love to think so. I don't know.
Right, yeah.
It'd be cool.
Yeah, and there's no Kyrie.
Thinking about Kyrie, I mean, good God. I mean,
there's so many people.
Yeah.
It's
just cool. I mean, it's just loaded. I love it.
The fact that it's so loaded and it could have been even more loaded, it's just insane. And you're not upset to see any of these singles matches.
It's a fun time to be a wrestling fan.
Yes.
It's a fun time to be a fan of women's wrestling, especially.
It is.
Because we have really come so far.
The explosion of women's wrestling this year has just been glorious to behold.
And, we hope that you love it as much as we do. And we also hope that you decide to join us and take a little bit of time with us every week.
Yes.
And go through this journey with us.
Yes, because we very much focused Stardom heavy this episode because of the 5-star Grand Prix, but we are going to be talking about everything women's wrestling.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
So if you love women's wrestling, this is the place to be.
Yep, we're here for you, and we want to communicate with you, so feel free to give us some shout outs, and if you like something about the show you want us to do more of, let us know. If there's something you don't like, well, just keep it to yourself.
Yes, and for our debut episode, I think that is going to be all. I'm Raja.
And I'm John.
And we will see you next time on Wrestling is Her.
See ya.